Prototyping, again, very important. A lot of people do prototype because it's the next best thing to a solution, because you don't have the final solution. Again, I was given an example of the Flash-based application that we developed for a .NET application for the financial planning product. We could not get that in time. It's huge. It's a very complex thing. So we created the Flash version as a prototype, and we used it for the user testing. And then, yeah, it's very dynamic. So it's not just a wireframe or statics thing. So people can actually have a go, and they can have it's not just the look and feel, but also the interaction, the navigation, the whole experience of how the end product would look like. You can pretty much give the same thing, same effect and same experience through a prototype. So that's a very powerful way to engage the users and get the feedback, get the insights from their usage. It helps to definitely get the early feedback from users. So agile development. So what we do is we'll try and, as we discussed, fail fast. So the earlier you get the feedback from the customers and users, the better for you. So you can actually try and rectify the errors, the issues, the defects earlier. So you have got minimal rework to do on that later. So you can save a lot of time and effort and money and all that stuff. So very powerful. I quite like using prototypes. Scenarios, again, is another. This is what I would typically use in a user testing. So scenarios will tell the scenario saying that you are the CEO of this company, you've got this thing, so now you've got to take a decision about having to hive off this business unit or mergers and acquisition. Or you say that you're the owner of a small bakery, you've got this dough, you've got to take this decision about what kind of products you're making. So you're actually spinning a story. You're actually giving them a story, and then you are giving a construct of what they're going to operate in, the constraints, the challenges, and then you are letting them go and then do the tasks using this product. So again, I have used scenarios in the context of user testing. So you have a prototype, you develop it, you create some tasks, and then you spin a story around that, and then you tell the story, same story, to the the test audience, to the test participants. And then you can actually get to see how each one reacts differently. Each one goes through a different route to the same feature, for example. So we've used, again, the scenario-based user testing in the prototypes. For the Flash-based prototypes of the financial planning product, we used scenarios quite a lot. Very powerful. It helps you to identify exceptions, uncover things, in fact, things which you have not thought about. People would be doing all of those when they're using the product. When they're in the scenario, they'll say, okay, what could be the worst case scenario? What could be the best case scenario? What could be the average scenario? But sometimes you can even uncover scenarios which you have not even thought about, those 3 scenarios. There could be multiple ways of doing the same thing, or, as they say, serendipity, isn't it? So you can actually discover something which even they themselves might not know. So you can try and unearth all of those, the discovery, and explore multiple ways of getting to a particular feature, or using a feature for something completely different. Using your product, for example, to a completely different one. Like, for example, they say that most of these product vendors don't know how their products would really get used by people in different ways. So even they themselves are like so zapped to see some of those, like, for example, the scissors and these kind of equipment being used for doing complex tasks, or, for example, the garden equipment being used for doing surgeries and for doing different things. I mean, there's a lot of stories out like that, where people were really taken by surprise in terms of how their products were used by different people. So it's all scenarios of usage, isn't it? So again, gives you rich, context sensitive information, very helpful to come up with ideas of usage. And again, the way it is used in real life, in the practical aspects of things, would really help you to come up with different ways, different features, and different innovation ideas as well.